Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, September 18th, 2023. The fire potential impacts for the next few days are shown here. For today, we have some moisture moving into the basin that will kick off some isolated showers and thunderstorms here and there, especially over portions of Utah and then across the central Great Basin. Tomorrow we'll begin to see the impacts of a low pressure system moving into the Pacific Northwest with some prefrontal winds across the Snake River Plain and continued showers and thunderstorms over northeast Utah. And then on Wednesday, that low will begin to move into the northern portions of the area, bringing some showers across the central Great Basin, cooler temperatures behind that front, and even some high elevation snow. Yesterday was a pretty quiet day for precip and lightning, but this morning we're seeing some thunderstorms already in place over central and southern Utah, and we'll continue to see those developing throughout the day today. Initial attack was light yesterday. We had 3 fires for 11 acres. Precipitation for the past 7 days is shown here. We've had some dry spots out there for the past week, especially the central Idaho mountains, the Snake River Plain, and much of western and northwest Nevada. Other portions of the area have seen some precipitation, especially southern Nevada and southwest Utah. Our ERC percentiles are shown here. Most of our values are below the 50th percentile right now, but we do have some stations that have been increasing to above the 50th percentile, most notably here over the central Idaho mountains. However, those values are going to be decreasing quickly as that low moves in. A closer look at the ERC trends are shown here for southwest Idaho. Those values have crossed the normal threshold. Have been on a pretty good increase the past couple of weeks, but we expect those values to decrease again as this low pressure system moves in. Further south over southeast Utah, those values are still a bit below normal for the time of year. This morning's satellite imagery shows some moisture in place over the Great Basin today, especially Utah. We can see those storms already kicking off. And then the next feature we're looking at is this low up in the Pacific Northwest. We can see the cold front in place over Oregon here. That's going to be moving into the Great Basin during the work week, bringing cooler temperatures, showers, high elevation snow, and some wind ahead of that cold front as well. So for this afternoon, we can see moisture in place across much of the Great Basin for isolated showers and thunderstorms. Really expecting those showers and thunderstorms to pop up pretty much anywhere in the Great Basin today. The best chance maybe for a more wetting type rain is going to be over southern and southeast Utah. Gusty outflow winds will accompany these thunderstorms today. On Tuesday, the low starts to drop a little bit further south into the Pacific Northwest. Not too much, but enough that we'll see some winds across the Snake River Plain. And then we'll also see some drying across the southern portions of the area as well. So on Tuesday, thunderstorms are going to be limited mainly to northern Utah, but we will see gusty winds along the upper Snake River Plain and into western Wyoming ahead of that low. On Wednesday, we'll begin to see more significant impacts from that low as it dives further south into the Pacific Northwest. We'll see a cold front moving through Idaho and into northern Nevada on Wednesday with some really gusty winds out ahead of that cold front. So closer look here, precipitation-wise, we should see a band of showers ahead of that cold front or associated with the cold front in northeast Nevada up into southeast Idaho and western Wyoming, and then some strong gusty winds out ahead of that front in eastern Nevada and western Utah. The 3-day precip totals are shown here. This is precipitation mainly over Idaho and western Wyoming behind that cold front on Wednesday. And then that we'll continue to see those storms into the second half of the work week as well. So on Thursday, that low drops even further south, really impacting the Great Basin with cooler temperatures and precipitation, especially over the higher elevations across the north. We'll still continue to see some gusty winds and some drier air across the south. Maximum temperature changes from Monday to Thursday are quite significant. Highs today in many of our northern valleys are going to be in the mid 80s, dropping to the mid 60s by Thursday. So a pretty good little cold front temperature wise here. Definitely expect to see some high elevation snow with this system. On Friday, the low begins to move eastward across the basin, but we'll still see some storms lingering, especially across the north, where we'll see the bulk of the precipitation and moisture, and drier air beginning to move in to the west. And we remain in that sort of dry slot on Saturday, especially across Utah and Nevada, with another low moving into the Pacific Northwest and some moisture in place across the south as well. On Sunday, it looks like some of that tropical moisture moves up into the Great Basin, possibly kicking off some more showers and thunderstorms. And we still have this low off the Pacific coast with generally southwest flow in place over the area. The 7-day precip totals are shown here. That low pressure system moving in the second half of the work week is going to bring some good precip totals, especially to the central Idaho Mountains and western Wyoming and portions of northern Nevada and northern Utah. Again, expecting a dusting of snow with this storm across the higher elevations. The extended forecast for September 25th to October 1st puts a below normal temperature trend in place across the western portions of the area, and then we also see above normal chances for precipitation across Idaho and western Nevada, with a bit of a drier trend expected over Utah. This concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.